indicate this area is contaminated.
Yo, what is poppin' YouTube? You already know who it is. Welcome to another commentary video. Today we're going to be talking about the future of the division and where I feel it's going to go. Being on a content creator level, you know, playing the game in and out, running all the builds, running all the modes and all this. So my opinion on it is I feel like the game is finally in a direction where it's profitable on both ends as far as PvE and PvP. With the console players being so stuck on patches since we don't have a PTS, we kind of get burnt out like 10 times over, while the PC players enjoy 1.6. You know, they get like a breather from it. We have to like endure the current patches until the actual patch comes out, and that sucks for console players because it makes us feel like the game doesn't have hope. And even though there's hope out there, we see it, you know, we watch videos on it with PTS and we see things that change that actually make the game fun. I feel like the division has finally kind of going over that little hump where they had to decide whether or not the changes that they're making in the future will be beneficial to the entire audience. But me as a content creator, I enjoy the game still. Yes, it's really hard to like make content as a console player because I feel like, you know, we're so limited. All the build videos have been made. Pretty much manhunt videos are like the only thing you can really do, or just like talking about the future. But for the game, Last Stand's coming out. Let's talk about Last Stand for a second. I feel Last Stand isn't what we wanted necessarily because, you know, everybody thought we were gonna have team deathmatch, elimination, and game modes versus just one game mode. I'm not saying it's bad. It's not necessarily what we wanted, but I think it's gonna be good enough as like a stepping stone. Since they plan having year 2 content, I feel like that's a stepping stone. They're trying to just test out what games will work in this type of shooter. Since it's based around loot, they don't want to take away the whole feeling of finding loot and being excited to make your build better through normalization and stuff. So Last Stand is probably the best that they can do at this point in time, and I still think it's an amazing job. Don't get me wrong. Just because I'm saying the community necessarily didn't want that type of game mode, you know, based off of my understanding of it, I'm not saying that it's bad. I'm just saying that I think we overhyped it in our head on what our idea of dedicated PvP was, and of course, it's never. The developers are never going to be able to answer that call because of the player base. But I honestly feel like the game is healthy. The game still has, you know, similar numbers based off of the launch. I didn't think that there's any big significant drops like last time between these two patches. I think for the most part, 1.5 was a successful patch. I don't think that it was a big issue with the meta. Yes, there's some things that are broken and irritating, but for the most part, I think it was a fluid meta. Yes, it was just assault rifles, you know, same alpha bridge, but I think it was a shooter. It was what we wanted. We wanted assault rifles to work. We want to be able to take fire and take cover and try to shoot people instead of versus blowing them up. Towards the end of the meta, yes, we have now it's like plagued with Seeker Mines, but throughout the whole meta and through 1.5 patch, it wasn't like that. I don't think Seeker Mines were that big of a problem until people realized how broken they were towards the end of this patch. Survivability, I think, is pretty healthy. As you can see, I'm surviving pretty good with a DPS build and in the middle of like all these people shooting at me. So it's not like everybody died too fast or everybody lived too long. I think it was basically based off around, you know, the ability to dodge, the ability to strafe. Since they nerfed the strafe, I don't think that was a big problem either. But for the future of the game, I think that we're at a solid spot. I think that most people are going to just complain, you know, based off of the things that they like personally that are getting nerfed or shut down. Like, for example, I know a lot of people are hurt about the Alpha Bridge change because, you know, they built their whole foundation around Alpha Bridge. And those are the people who just really enjoy Alpha Bridge, not just because it's a quote-unquote meta build, because they just like it. They like having 6 talents. They like having that much versatility. But I think that it's a good change knocking it down to 1 because people are too hooked on one build. And I think that's the only problem. Their main focus right now as developers, I think, is to try to make the game feel fruitful, make everything usable, because then that opens, you know, that opens the door to more varieties, more different like type of exchanges in the dark zone. You don't have to, okay, I know I'm expecting a FAMAS / M4 build right now. I know there's only one way. Let me use the normal counter to this instead of having to worry about so many different ways of fighting. So that's why they kind of made skills better, because they know skills they were kind of like neglected until recently, again with Seeker Mines. That's a big problem. I hope that's fixed. I mean, from what I heard, that was fixed. But for the most part, the diversity factor is what they wanted in this game, and I think that they're going to achieve that through this next patch. So for those who think they're worried, one of your favorite games is dying, the game's not going to die, man. I think the players that are on it right now are going to continue to play it. I think that it's going to bring on new audiences. The older the game gets, it's kind of like the Destiny curse, where the game pops off when new content comes out, and then it kind of, belittles itself during the transition between another patch. So I wouldn't say worry. The only thing I'm concerned about is if there's still going to be that one build meta thing based off of the experience with the division. But I honestly have came to like the understanding that it's something that they can't control. I feel there's always going to be something that's the best. There's no way they're going to balance everything out, because if you balance everything out, I mean, there's no advantages anywhere. So whatever build has the biggest advantage in this field is going to be overused. Whether it be a seeker mine, whether it be smart cover, whether it be an assault rifle, whether it be a marksman rifle, whatever is the strongest in its field is going to be used if it's effective in the DZ or effective in PvE. So build diversity that's all player based. They can't control that. They can only give you options, and I think that they're giving you a lot of options in this upcoming patch. I played a little bit of PTS at my friend's house and I enjoyed it. I think that it feels way different. I feel like since some machine guns are back, that's going to open up a whole new realm for people to build around that crate. It's exciting as a player that played through all the patches, how that felt, and especially with Last Stand. That's something different, and anything that's different to us, we're going to eat it up regardless. Like PS Survival was way more anticipated and hype before it came out than what it is now, but it's still something fun. It's still something players enjoy. It's still a whole nother option you can play besides just having to find PvP in the DZ or gank somebody or all that. I think the more options they give us, the more amazing the game gets naturally, and I think where they're going with it, it's pretty good, man. And I feel 1.6, I'm gonna have the ability to have a lot of content because of how much versatility that comes with that patch and how many different types of things I can use. Yes, it's been a bumpy road usually with our patches. Yes, it sucks sometimes the metas we go through. Shotgun meta, go through the Deadeye glitch, go through the sticky bomb meta, but those are something that you're gonna look back on and miss, even just for the fact that it was an experience. This game is hitched to our type of playstyle. It's our unique community. Nobody could take that away from nobody. The only thing we can do is try our best to help them make the game better for us in the long run, so that we continue to support it. You know what I'm saying? We don't want this game to die. As much as we complain and hate it, we're gonna play it. This is our favorite game. A lot of us, it's still my favorite game. I feel like I'm in love with the potential that this game has to be, and I know it's gonna achieve eventually, but it's on a route to success, straight up. So the future of the game is solid. Don't worry about the game dying. Don't worry about the game losing its appeal. The game is solid, man. It's just, it takes a little bit longer than we would want for certain changes to be made. But at this point, I kind of accepted the timing on it. I know it's a huge job, and I just appreciate whatever moves that they make as is, especially as a content creator. I want to be able to make content for you guys and able to have you guys enjoy new stuff versus just commentary videos over Manhunt or just something, new builds, new ideas, and new all this stuff. So for the most part, I'm pretty optimistic about the future, especially by watching and by playing and by seeing where the game's going. I think it's going to be cool. Yes, it's still going to be toxic because that's that's our curse, but that's part of the appeal of the game. As it grows on all of us. We all become it, and it is what it is. But the game is amazing, man. The game is solid when it comes to PvP. It's a fluid system that we all enjoy. We like the team play aspect. We like the skills and all that. So don't worry about the problems that 1.6 is going to bring. There's always going to be problems. So it's not new to us. So for the people who are constantly commenting 1.6 is trash, until you play it through, which you will, because all of us are. Don't comment saying it's terrible, all this. Just take it for what it is and make the best out of it, because this is the Division and this is the game that we've been spending months on and we enjoy. So I hope you guys, I gave you guys a little pep talk to be optimistic for it. I don't know when it's coming out. I heard towards the end of this month. Who knows? But, I'm not going to put that out there. I just hope you guys enjoyed it. Stay tuned for the future. We got a bright future ahead in the Division. Your boy is out.